Does anybody else feel like we are living in a choose-your-own-adventure type of society, where we've got one side of the aisle that has decided fidelity to the truth no longer matters? I can go ahead and say whatever it is that I need to say, as long as I am advancing my political objectives. That's why we've got the Trump administration that is so willing to go out there and lie to the American people. And because this MAGA movement is so devoted to the cult of Donald Trump, well, it seems like they'll believe just about anything. And case in point was when Elon Musk sat down for an interview with Larry Kudlow, and I honestly couldn't tell you 3 things that he said that were actually true. It was just an all bunch of nonsense and gibberish. And he would just make stuff up on the fly, it seemed. I mean, just listen to who he blamed for the cyber attack on the X platform. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
I want to begin, but among other things, everyone's attacking you for your position. What are you doing in the government? There was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced.
Yes.
It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
Well, we're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
Is he going to provide any proof for this? Or is he just going to tell another lie so he can demonize the Ukrainians? Does he not know how IP spoofing works? Not to mention, a group came out and already admitted that it was them who carried out the attack. Why didn't he mention any of that? Because these people are just so willing to lie to advance their goals. It is disgusting, disgusting behavior. And this is the guy who is running around the federal government and trying to tear it down from the inside out. And he is using all of these lies to try to justify the shit that they are doing. It is absolutely insane. I mean, just listen to this list of waste, fraud, and abuse that DOJ has supposedly found.
The president's gone through a long list of absurd things. Why are the 20 million people who are definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database? Why were hundreds of millions of dollars of Small Business Administration loans were given out to people aged 11 and under, according to the Social Security? I mean, like, these must be some very enterprising 8-year-olds, you know.
And some pretty strong 150-year-olds.
Yes, exactly. As the president said, you know, we have an enormous number of people marked as alive who are 160. He didn't know the country was that healthy.
Again, with the same old lies. This is one that has been refuted time and time and time again. Because of an old programming language used for the Social Security platform, we have ages in there that are past 150, but he wants you to believe that these are the people who are actually receiving payments. That's why he is saying this. There is no evidence at all that any of these people are receiving a dime. And in fact, the Social Security Administration automatically cuts off payments for anybody who is over the age of 115, because they know the likelihood of that person actually still being alive is very, very low. So Elon Musk is just lying again to you. And I'm sure we can find a tiny bit of waste, a tiny bit of fraud in the system. But as we will see a little bit later, he thinks that this accounts for 10% of all federal spending? I mean, is this guy high? He needs to really lay off the ketamine. Here he is talking about the NGOs being the biggest scam in all of the world.
What we saw there is just a tremendous amount of money being sent to non-governmental organizations. But actually, this, by the way, is, I think, one of the biggest sources of fraud in the world, is government-funded non-governmental organizations. This is a gigantic fraud loophole where the government can give money to an NGO, and then there are no controls over that NGO. So they've given billions of dollars, in fact, we estimate tens of billions of dollars, to NGOs that are essentially scams.
I mean, just listen to the way that he's talking about this. The government gives out tens of billions of dollars to non-governmental organizations, and somehow, because that happens, and what, it's just a scam because it happened? I mean, are you going to provide any proof that these people are taking money and then using it in a way that it wasn't supposed to be used? I mean, it's just a basic lack of how our government works. We hand out different contracts to different organizations that are good at carrying out the task that we intend for them to carry out. So, of course, we would give money to a charity to go feed a certain subsection of people because they are set up, they've got the infrastructure to do so. I mean, it all just makes sense once you just step back and think about it for just 2 seconds. But because Elon Musk wants you to believe that all of this spending is fraud and all of it is wasteful because he wants to cut it off or stop the payments, he has to tell you lie after lie after lie. That's why it is so important that we demand that these people provide proof of their claims, because as of now, Doge has not found a bit of fraud. Not one bit. They are deleting stuff off of their receipts website because they have no idea how to read these numbers, and it turns out that they were way off and wrong. It is just, these are the people running our government. These are the people telling lies to your face to justify the burning down of our government. Here he is talking about Social Security fraud being 10% of government spending. Just imagine what he is saying here.
Particularly with Social Security, you're not really changing policy.
No, yeah.
You're auditing the fiscal mechanisms to make sure that, from point A gets to point B, and that's where it's supposed to get to. In some cases, it doesn't get there, or in some cases, it may go over there. But that's it's not a policy exercise. You're not changing laws. You're just doing what any business would do in a profit and loss audit.
I think we're really what we're adding here is caring and competence, and there's a massive amount of fraud of basically people submitting Social Security numbers for Social Security benefits, unemployment, Small Business Administration loans, and medical, where those are fake Social Security numbers, or they're stolen somebody else's Social Security number, and we're trying to put a stop to all of that. And that's the number which is estimated to be on the order of 10% of federal expenditures, which is, half a trillion dollars.
10% of all federal spending is fraudulent. That is what he is trying to sell you here. If our budget is $6.5 trillion, that is $650 billion worth of fraud. But these people have not been able to provide a shred of evidence for any of it. When are people going to stop and start asking for receipts from these people? When is MAGA going to wake up and realize that they are trying to pull the wool over your eyes so they can strip your benefits in other areas of the government? That is what is going on here. We just saw the Republicans introduce a budget that is going to cut billions upon billions of dollars from Medicaid, which 1 in 5 Americans rely on, which half of children rely on for their health care. But he's just sitting here lying to your face about $650 billion being actually fraudulent from our government spending. And then he will throw the crazy buzzwords. I don't know who told him that this was a good idea. Caring and competence. We're just bringing caring and competence to the government, and that is what's going to get the job done. What kind of shit is that? I want somebody who is competent, who understands these systems, who understands how the government works, and who is devoted to working for the American people. Because Donald Trump and Elon Musk have not proven that that is what they are doing. Donald Trump is looking out for him and himself and his billionaire buddies so they can line their own pockets off the backs of regular Americans. It's absolutely disgraceful. Here he is talking again about the unelected bureaucracy, which is real funny because he is an unelected bureaucrat at this point.
In fact, they try their best to thwart presidential policy. So the president is the elected representative of the people, And if the president cannot get things implemented as a reflection of the will of the people, then what we have is not a democracy, we have a bureaucracy. We have rule of the bureau, not rule of the people. And that's what we're trying to defeat here is the bureaucracy and have rule of the people. You know, and as you mentioned, the bureaucracy is overwhelmingly Democrat. So Washington, D.C. was 92.5%, I believe, voted for Kamala. So this is overwhelmingly a deep blue situation.
Even if 92% of Washington, D.C. voted for Kamala Harris, does he really believe that people in Washington, D.C. are the only people who make up our federal workforce? Does he not realize that we have federal workers in each and every state of our union and that they come from a variety of different backgrounds? This is just another lie for him to demonize the left. This is another lie for him to demonize the federal bureaucracy, because these are the people who make the government work, and they carry out rules and laws in a lawful manner. But Elon Musk and Donald Trump don't want to do that. That is why they are trying to gut the federal government, so they can just go ahead and do whatever it is that they want to do without somebody looking over their shoulder or, having to worry about what rules and laws that they are breaking, what type of people they're scamming out of retirement money or whatever it may be. These people are disgusting. The people who voted for Donald Trump need to wake up and realize that these are the people who are trying to screw you over while they lie to your face and then call you stupid if you don't believe them. It is just insane to me. Like I said, I couldn't pick out one truthful statement that Elon Musk made in this thing. It was lie after lie after lie. It is, I just don't even know what to call it. It is grotesque. It is disgusting. It is beneath anybody who should be serving in our government. I mean, just listen to the way he's talking about entitlement spending and connecting it to the great replacement theory. I mean, this is beyond low.
The wage report in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here, and then turning them into voters.
Yes.
So this is why the Democrats are so upset about the situation, because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will leave, and they'll lose voters.
How can Larry Kudlow be sitting there just nodding along like everything that Elon Musk is saying is so true, so based? You have the wealthiest man in the world, who has provided no evidence at all, trying to say that the Democrats are using our Social Security to lure in undocumented immigrants so then they can somehow turn them into voters so they will vote more Democrats into office. Is that the conspiracy? The great replacement theory, where the Jews or the Democrats are working to replace the white population here in America, and they're doing that through the mechanism of Social Security? I mean, what is this dude even talking about? And did you notice his language at the very top of the statement here? He said, well, the entitlements, that's where the real fraud is at. That's why we need to eliminate it. These people are coming for your Social Security. Grandma and Grandpa might miss their Social Security checks for the first time in the program's history because Musk and his idiot buddies are rummaging around and firing thousands of federal employees from the Social Security Administration. They are coming for the Social Security. They are lying as a pretense to gut the Social Security or to privatize it so their buddies can make their cent off of it. What he is saying here is just beyond stupid. Like, it doesn't even make sense if you try to break down the actual things he's trying to say. We're bringing in undocumented immigrants, and then we're using the Social Security funds to pay them. It makes no sense. And again, where's your evidence? These people need to be held accountable. The MAGA folks need to start asking Elon Musk to prove what he is saying instead of just going along with it. Oh, well, Donald Trump has blessed Elon, and therefore I can go ahead and believe whatever it is that Elon has to say. Again, we are living in a choose-your-own-adventure society where you can just speak something into existence, you can lie to the American people, and then you can use that lie to take away their benefits. And let's not forget, Social Security is a social insurance policy. It is not an entitlement, it is an insurance policy. These people have earned their Social Security retirement. And these billionaire assholes are coming for it. So I just thought this was really interesting. Not one thing. I would encourage you all to go watch the entire interview. It's only about 17 or 18 minutes long. And come back and tell me, what in here did he say that was actually true? Or is he just lying directly to your face? Let me know. I'll leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We've got to build something here on the left that can adequately push back against this right-wing nonsense that is just filled with a web of lies. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to subscribe. If you guys want to see how Elon Musk is becoming very, very unpopular in this administration as he tries to tear down our government from the inside out, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.